So it's recently been discovered that the skin that's on your lips is pretty much the same skin that's on your anus. So if you eat booty, my friend, get them groceries. Welcome to Break Time on Westside, your number one break time podcast channel. You are on the fan favorites section, coming to you every Friday at about 9 a.m. with me, Sir Denver B. Now, we need to kick this off on a very interesting note. First of all, we are on the 6th episode, so we've lasted longer than most people's workouts, those 6-week program ones, and we've also lasted longer than some people's relationships. And first of all, we've lasted longer than most people's workout programs because, even though they're 6 weeks, you guys only ever do them for 2 weeks. Then on the 3rd week, you guys skip out some days. On the 4th week, you said you need to rest. And then after that, you never do shit. We've also lasted longer than most people's relationships. That's a good thing. But then again, some of your relationships have lasted much shorter than, some people's times in bed. So I'm not going to attack you for that. I understand where your issues are coming from. You people clearly need to last longer in bed. Then you'll probably end up lasting and having longer relationships. But anyways, we need to start with the news. Now, there was this video that kind of went viral a couple of days ago, especially around Kenya. It's not that it just came out the other day. It's been around for a bit of a while. Is one of these Dr. Phil episodes, and it was revolving around this American couple that had been trying to work things out, that had been having some issues, and apparently the wife wanted to leave the husband for some guy in Kenya. Now, it kind of put Kenya on the spotlight, but now the bit that kind of attracted most of our attention is the fact that it was a guy called Kevin. Now, for those of us that live in Kenya, we know very well, Kevin translates to Kevo. The Kevos, the Brios that we know, is almost like a fuckboy reference. If you don't know what a fuckboy is, go to Urban Dictionary. If you don't know what Urban Dictionary is, quit the internet and just go back into a cave. But now, the whole Kevo story came out. Guys are all on this whole, finally Kevo's being recognized globally. And I don't think that's the issue. The issue here is, these Kevos are doing their job too well. We can't afford to hate them now. We've been putting in so much effort. We have been trying to help these guys, change and become better human beings. And now they've even started recruiting more people like the Denos and the Ians. Especially you Denos. Denos nowadays are coming up as underdogs. But, for the international community, I will not, try and stir this up that much because I have to understand, the plight of the many boy children that are there. Because we do not want people to be killed off from getting chances. We not want people getting curved. We do not want people eating bricks from women simply because their names are Dennis, Kevin, Brian, Ian. Maybe Matthew. I don't know. I haven't heard of any cases of people who are cheaters because they're called Matthew. Jones, there are a few. But, this whole naming thing comes up and all of a sudden men want to come and start creating theirs. So they're like, Sharon, Mary, and all that shit. And I'm like, fine, the Kevos make sense, but the Sharons and Marys, some of these shorties are really nice. Just the same way I'd probably say some of these Denos and Kevos are really nice at cheating on you. Just saying. I'm Denver, so, I don't classify on any of those lists. Even when you try and shorten it, it's Denvo. Who the fuck says Denvo on any of that? But, you kind of do understand that people try to stereotype guys for a lot of things. It'll be like, tall, skinny guys or very skinny people are attributed, being the best cheaters. They're the ones that a lot of women will cheat on you with. Please tell me of any situation or situations where you have seen that apparently a woman has cheated on their guy with a fat person. I'm not saying that fat people aren't worth, cheating on your man for, but I'm just saying it's not a very common case. Most times you see some skinny nigger or some built nigger or one of these people. Fat people are generally some of the happiest people on the planet. It also means that they're loyal, and it also means that they don't stay single for very long. But at the same time, it means that they can be cheated on by, with a single guy. So I'm sorry, fat people. If you're hearing this and you're fat, it's okay. Eat that donut. Anyways, I do not want to start body shaming people. I think body shaming is not a very good thing. I think, fat people should be happy that they're fat. Personally, I like BBWs. I think thick and curvy is the way to go. I'm a big fan of the thick thighs army. But, speaking of which, huge shout out to Thick Thighs Army, started by a friend of mine on IG. They've been doing real good, making some real good shots on women that are super thick and all. So I will admit I am a fan of people who might be referred to as fat. Here's the quagmire of all of this. There's a difference between being fat and being thick. If you're fat, it means that everything's all over the place. Like you let everything go. That's where there's a problem. We're not going to tell you to hit the gym. We're just going to wait for you to hit the gym. And then we'll start approaching you. If you're thick, though, it means that, even amidst the extra size, there's some shape. You have the love handles that we can handle. Keyword there being handle. So we can take you, we can keep you for a minute. But that aside, I think it's about time I move on. Otherwise, some woman will pelt me with virtual stones. On to the next part. Now, we have a very interesting porn star known as Mia Khalifa. For those of you that do not know Mia Khalifa, stop lying to us. We know you know who Mia Khalifa is. Mia Khalifa is currently the most famous porn star, if I'm not wrong. That's under some of the others that I don't know. I only know Mia Khalifa because you guys know Mia Khalifa. She came out on Twitter not too long ago. A couple of days ago, she came out. She was like, for those of you that think I made millions in porn, I made a total of $12,000. And I wasn't able to get a job after that. It was very hard for me. And I was like, fuck this shit. Like, that's absolute bullshit. You cannot be telling me that you got $12,000 in your entire porn career. You are pretty much the pinnacle of, where porn fame gets you. Mia Khalifa is one of the most famous, I don't want to say Asians, but probably Middle Eastern, to some extent, porn stars on the planet. Like, if you go to the Pornhub list, she's there in top 10. Don't ask me how I know this. I have never gone to the list and looked at the ranks, but she's usually around top 10, according to a close source of mine. So, you start telling me that you only made $12,000? That doesn't make sense, because I recently went into the internet and I found a former porn star. Yes, Wall Street person turned porn star, turned YouTuber / gamer, Paige Jennings, aka Veronica Vane. When she got her first, porn payout for a porn video, she was paid about $10,000. This was something that she said on a video that she had posted up. And yes, she did admit that porn doesn't pay a lot. But she admitted that, the first one was like $10,000. Then after that, they offered her like, $3,000. And then it kind of dropped to like $1,000. And then it started getting into the hundreds. Because the thing is, porn is almost like the entertainment industry. If you're not, generating a lot of buzz, they won't offer to pay you a lot of money. Plus also, it depends on a lot of things. What it is that you're doing, who it is you're doing it with, how many people you're doing it with, the kind of extents that you're supposed to take it. But for the most part, I will not lie, porn people aren't paid as much. And men in porn are paid way, way less. They are paid a fraction of what women are paid. Like, women in the Hollywood film industry can come up and say, you know what, we need equal play, blah, blah, blah. Goodness, what the hell is wrong with my tongue today? Equal pay, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of it, they can kind of get something towards that level. But, in the porn industry, there's no one that us men can go and complain to. Women will always be paid more. Unless you're one of those gay guys that, likes to take it from the back. Then you can probably get paid a fairly good price. But it still doesn't make sense to me how Mia Khalifa can only make $12,000. She's been in the porn industry for years. She must have made a ton. Like, I'm guessing 12,000 was like, maybe like first month? And that's just a guesstimate. Like, I think first month, she could have made that, maybe first 3 months, at most first 6 months. If we're really stretching it, maybe the first year she made 12,000. But she must have made more after that, because the bigger porn production companies will obviously pay you more to be on their videos. And she's been in a couple of videos. This is something I'm confirming from a close source. I can't say that I watched porn. I don't watch porn. Just saying. Just like every other person that claims they don't watch porn, yet it's a $35 billion industry. She managed to make all of that, and then you're saying that she made only 12,000? I'm gonna call bullshit on that. But anyways, maybe she made most of her money from sex toys and distributing some of her own videos. But that's just about it. I think it's about time you guys get back to work. I think I've talked about porn for a bit too long. Always put that process in that progress, or be the prevention. It has been me, Sir Denver B. If you guys want to send me your feedback, you can do it on the Instagram account, breaktime_Westside. This has been Break Time on Westside, episode 6 of the fan favorite section. I will see you guys later.